So I'll jump right into it. I'm sober now. You know what I'm saying? Something that happens when people sober up mentally, they end up going back to where they were before the substances began, like age wise. For me, it takes me back to like age 14, 15 years old. And that's why I wanted to do this episode on skateboarding and BMXing, because it really does affect my mental health to be active, to have some type of passion, something I like to do on the side. And the cool thing with skateboarding, BMXing, you can do that with your kids, dude. You know what I'm saying? You can teach them anything on a skateboard, on a bicycle. And it doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be crazy cool. Go to Two Felons Skate Shop over in Whittier. Go over there, buy a blank deck, buy something cheap, cheap trucks, get something for your kids if you want. And if you want to spend a little cash, get some better bearings so, the wheels roll a lot better, some better trucks so they hold your kids up. Go to Two Felons, man. Two Felons will hook you up. Trust me. They're my homeboys. Check them out. Two Felons. You can find them anywhere on Instagram, Facebook. They got the website up. Message them. If you're looking on their Instagram, you could even see the boards, and you just hit them up online. They'll get back to you. But for me, I remember skating all over the city, dude. And I keep coming back to skateboarding, man. I keep coming back to the thrill of just kicking and pushing on that skateboard. And that's all I cared about. Like when I was 14, 15 years old, that's all I cared about, man, was just cruising around on my board. And I spent summers doing that, dude. Summers. A whole summer. Close with my friends, dude. And mind you, I can't ride a skateboard to save my life. Like, I suck at skateboarding. I can do one kickflip. That's it. I can ollie. I can jump staircases. Back when I was a kid, I used to be able to ollie a lot higher than I can ollie now. But I still enjoy it. I don't care. I love skateboarding, man. I love being around those dudes who nailed skateboarding. And back when I was a kid, I was probably what was considered like a poser. The kid that wore skateboarding shirts but couldn't skate for crap. Still enjoyed it. I still enjoy it today. And I see my 9-year-old daughter. My ex-wife bought her a cruiser board. And she loves it, dude. She tries it. Taught her goofy foot, regular foot. And how to position herself on the skateboard and how to do a manual or something. So she's getting the hang of it. She really is, and she keeps trying at it. It's something that interests her, and I love it, man. Because nowadays, there's no reason a woman, a girl cannot skate. Back in the day, you didn't see a lot of girl skaters, and if you did, they were kind of like tomboyish. You know what I'm saying? They weren't real accepted. But now you got like Leticia Buffani. Brazilian girl. Oh my goodness, that girl can skate, man. She's amazing. Look her up on Instagram. She's like one of my favorite female skaters. There's another little Asian girl that's coming up too. I think she's like 12 years old, and she shreds, dude. She was at like Venice Beach, killed all the bowls in there, dude. It's so amazing to see girls skateboard, and if you're a dude in the skateboarding world, man, just accept them. Don't be a jerk. Don't be a hater. Don't be a creep. There's a lot of creeps in skateboarding too. There's a lot of losers in skateboarding too. They don't do anything but smoke weed and hang out around young kids, trying to influence them not to be all they can be. But I got other friends too, like I was mentioning earlier, Two Felon Skate Shop, man. They'll be posted up at a skate park handing out free lunches, dog. They could be at the skate park corrupting kids if they wanted to, but they don't. They're older cats that are giving back to their community. Man, I got mad respect for that. Mad respect for that. So skateboarding, to me, it's pure, dude. Before all the drugs, before all the drinking, before all the women, skateboarding was just pure. I did it because I loved it. I wasn't good at it, but I loved it. And, it brought me and my friends together. And we were all crappy. There was a couple dudes that were pretty good. I don't know what they did with it. I don't know if they did anything with it. But to me, they were good skaters, and they showed me a lot. But everybody has their own path in life, so I don't know where those dudes ended up. But and I won't mention them by name because, again, I don't know where they ended up. Maybe they're successful in skateboarding, maybe they're not. Maybe they're successful in their own industry or their own field, and if they are, mad respect to them. I hope they're doing well. But skateboarding, like I said, was just pure, and even when we got like tired of it, we didn't want to skate anymore. We moved to something else. BMXing was gigantic for me and my friends. I remember we spent a whole summer, dude. We found a field. It wasn't even a field. Trip this out. It was a pet cemetery. There was a pet cemetery by the South Whittier Middle School, right there off Painter and Telegraph. Before those buildings got up. Hey, those buildings are built on a pet cemetery. I bet they're haunted, dog. There's little animals running around all over that place. But they built it on a pet cemetery. But before they started building those buildings a long time ago, it was just like flat open dirt. So we took our freaking shovels over there, a bunch of hoes over there, not hoes like women, but hoes to help with gardening, you sick bastards. And we built some gnarly jumps, dude. We built little berms come out, dude. I mean, they were gnarly to us. To like a real BMXer, they probably look like a bunch of kid stuff, but what the hell, we were kids. We brought our own shovels. I think I left my dad's shovel there, and he was so mad about that, man. I wonder if he got over it. I don't know. But that was before they like that summer we spent building, a little track in there, and then at the end of the summer they leveled it all out. And I remember we rolled up there and we were ready to ride our bikes, and then it was just like tractors and those big old dirt tractors that just leveled and flattened everything out. We were totally bummed out, but it is what it is. We just moved on to a different sport, or different extreme sport. That's what they were called, extreme sports. I don't know if they're classified as sports now. I know skateboarding is going to be in, or was planned on being in the Olympics this year. With COVID and everything, the Olympics is pushed back to next year, I believe. But I know they're attempting to bring skateboarding into the Olympics, and that's freaking beautiful, man, because people skate all over the world. You got Brazilians that shred. You got a dude from Portugal. I can't remember his name. You got, the best talents here in the States, though, man. Nigel Houston. That kid, man, I've been following him since he was a kid with those long dreadlocks, and his dad that was all over his ass and moved him out of the States because he had a different agenda. But Nigel Houston, man, check him out. Type him in. If you don't know much about skateboarding, start with Nigel Houston. Look at his story. His mom, his dad was like super into just being like his own like marketing dude, so he took care of the business for Nigel, but he didn't know anything about the business. And this kid had just endless potential, but his dad was kind of just hovering and suffocating him. And his dad actually moved him out of the States, the whole family out of the States. And it was the mom that started realizing, this dude doesn't know what he's doing. The dad doesn't know what he's doing. I got to get my kids out of here. She took her kids, divorced that dude, came to the States, made Nigel Houston who he is, man. She's taking care of all his business, and this dude lives in, I think, Malibu or Laguna Beach. Beautiful home. He won $1 million for skateboarding in the SLS, the Skate League series or whatever it's called. But they created a whole league of skateboarding with brackets, with points, with leaders, and they get $1 million at the end. Are you kidding me, for skateboarding? That's amazing. Pal Peralta would be like, he's probably jumping for joy, man. Those dudes are, the Bones Brigade, the dudes that started skateboarding. Dogtown, all that. I didn't follow Dogtown much, but I came up like in the Bones Brigade era, and in the 90s, like, skateboarding was just gigantic, dude, gigantic. It took over rollerblading and rollerbladers and skaters hated each other. I loved it, dude. There was like a clear divide, but I'm not gonna hate, dude. I used to rollerblade too, no joke. I had some K2s, man. Yup, some K2s. They didn't even fit me. I think they were like 2 sizes too big. My parents bought them on like secondhand store or something like that. But I loved them. I couldn't rollerblade for crap either, but I tried. I was probably better at rollerblading than I was at skateboarding. But rollerblading's a little easier. You're just strapped to some wheels, whereas skateboarding, You got to have good control over that board. And if your feet aren't like a good size to control the board, you're going to struggle. You're going to struggle. My daughter's got some big old feet, man. She takes care of it. She can be a sick skater. But I love it, man. I love it. It showed me how to push myself. And now that I reflect, now that I'm sober and away from just all the BS that my life became, I look at like the pureness of skateboarding and how it did so much for me. It taught me discipline, man. And the way it taught me was continuously trying things and trying to get that final result. You can do 1,000 ollies in a day, and one of them might be that one you're going to remember. Oh man, I ollied over 3 decks that were stacked, or something like that. That was sick. Or I manualed the whole street. For me, that was cool. There's dudes that can really skate, jump 10 stairs or jump Cal. Cal's stairs are very famous. Paul Rodriguez, man. Cal High. Paul Rodriguez used to skate those stairs all the time, dude. And I got mad respect for Paul Rodriguez, man. He ran Primitive. Primitive is freaking huge, man. I was in a Tilly's recently. Primitive is everywhere. It's all over Zoomies. It's all over Tilly's. I don't know about PacSun anymore. PacSun got bought out by Gap. I remember that. I used to work for Tilly's back in the day. And I remember when PacSun got bought out by the people that own Gap and Banana Republic and Old Navy. And they revamped the whole store, and it looked like a different Gap to me. They have their flagship store out in the Brea Mall. That's their beauty. That's their model store. I never liked PacSun, dude. It's kind of whack. Tilly's is kind of whack too. I was in Tilly's. I bought some shorts, man. Man, clothing is like very limited right now with COVID. If you go to like they're not secondhand stores, but like the stores that get discounted apparel, like Marshalls or Ross or DD's discounts or Burlington Coat Factory. You go into those stores right now, they are dead empty, man, because they're not getting crap from the big stores right now. Nordstrom Rack is struggling, man. It seems like so many businesses are closing their doors, and no one's talking about this. No one's talking about this. It's so scary, dude. Our economy, from what it looks like we're heading for a depression era, dude. You got tons of stores just closing down. Look in your community. You're gonna start seeing these mom and pop stores going under, man. One of the biggest sales opportunities for retail is the back to school market. No one's going back to school, so nobody's buying clothes right now. Hopefully, kids return to classes in January, but that really depends on how we come out of this flu season. So nobody knows how the flu is going to interact with COVID, and COVID's going to interact with the flu. We don't know. The flu, my daughter got the flu last year. This was my first time experiencing how serious the flu is. She got a lymph node infection on top of getting the flu, and it caused her neck to swell up and out. And we took her to the hospital. She was in the hospital for 3 weeks, and the flu attacked her so bad she would get up to 103, 104 fever. That's scary, man. That's scary for a kid. That's seizure time. You know what I'm saying? And I'm blessed that she did not have seizures. I'm blessed that she came out of that healthy. We learned she's allergic to ibuprofen, and that's huge. We didn't know that. We learned because we gave her ibuprofen, and she reacted very badly to it. I remember they had to drain her lymph nodes because it turned all red from here down to right in her chest area, and it was all red and swollen. It wasn't painful, it wasn't itchy or anything like that. Actually, it was painful. It was painful for her. She couldn't turn her head. She couldn't put her head down. it was the scariest time for me. So I am scared out of my mind about this flu season and how COVID's going to react, because we don't know how COVID's going to affect these children. We don't. We know that right now in the early stages that it's not affecting children. That's amazing. That's beautiful. But once you get those kids back in the classroom, it's just like being back in the petri dish, man. These kids are just germs, man, walking germs. I got a 4-year-old who's in preschool. Go to a preschool, you'll get sick almost instantly as soon as you walk in. And unfortunately, some parents just don't have the options of keeping their kids out of school when they're ill. So they'll send them. And, all it takes is one parent to send their sick child to school, and then it spreads like a wildfire, man. And I am scared out of my mind on how this flu season is going to be with COVID too. It's terrifying, dude. It's truly terrifying. But I hope that when we do come out of it and we do open up in January, that's what school districts are attempting to do at the moment, is return to in-class teaching in January. So that's basically like the second semester of regular general ed school, like K through 12. And I truly believe that it's not going to be 100%. It's going to be hybrid. Students might be returning in January, but they're going to be returning 2 days out of the week. Again, that's going to have lasting effects on our economy, man. Children control the economy when it comes to schooling. I'm not lying. Think about it. We rely on schools for childcare to an extent. Most families do in America. You take that childcare out, now the parents are responsible for the childcare between 8 to 3 p.m. So now the parents can't work a full day, can't work their full shifts, can't be at work as peacefully, at least, or with peace of mind that their children are at school and they're safe. Although we do have those terrible events that happen when a school gets shot up and somebody dies at school or kids die at school, but it's very far and in between. Compared to other places in the world, it could be a lot worse. So taking that care out and putting it back onto the parents, that's going to have an effect on the economy. People are not going to be able to work. That's huge. Back to school, there's no back to school season for retail. Take it out completely. Oh my goodness, man. That retail stores are going to start closing up. Sears is not going to make it through here. These specialty apparel stores like PacSun and Zoomies and Tilly's and Gap, Banana Republic, Calvin Klein, they're not going to have their stores anymore. Go to the Citadel in December and you're going to see a whole different retail world. I'm serious. There's already plans for Airbnbs to start closing their doors. Uber, Lyft, everyone's being affected. And those are huge employers. Actually, Lyft, or I believe Uber, both, they just got notice on that they're gonna have to pay they're no longer gonna have drivers as independent contractors, and they're gonna have to have them as employees. In this time, really, California, you're gonna do that to them right now, dude? Uber and Lyft got 10 days to respond, and they have to add their drivers as employees. So what that means is their taxes skyrocket. They have to offer a medical plan, to these employees. Then they're gonna be taxed like crazy. These employees are gonna be taxed. No longer independent contractors that it's kind of on the honor system. You got to report it, and you can kind of fudge the numbers if you fill out your 1099 incorrectly, let's say. And people that make under $600 a year through that, they don't have to pay taxes. But guess what? If you're an employee, you're going to have to pay taxes. And then, two, what comes with being an employee of a company? Comes a lot of responsibility. There's sick leave, there's vacation. Then they have to be able to fund those sick leaves and vacations. And then they have to offer health benefits to these drivers. Dang, man. I wouldn't blame Uber and Lyft for leaving California. And that's just going to be atrocious to so many people. I have neighbors on my block that live off of Uber and Lyft. Like, that's how they make a living. That's how they pay their mortgage. What are they going to do now? Uber and Lyft can just say, nah, we're not going to do that. We're not going to hire these people as employees. Are you kidding me? Oh, and then, oh my goodness, man. Think about it. They got to add these people. They got to pay more for all this stuff, right? Medical benefits, salaries, sick leave, vacation leave. Guess who's going to pay for it? The people that use these services. You got a lot of kids in high school right now that don't drive and probably don't plan on driving because they just use Lyft and Uber because it's cheap. Guess what? It's not going to be cheap anymore. Is it going to be as convenient if it's not cheap? Depending on how much the prices go up. And then look at the trickle-down effect. These prices go up. They affect these high school kids that use Uber and Lyft to get around. Now they got to ask their parents for more money. Now mom and dad, who aren't making much right now, got to pay more. Oh, now they can't. So now they got to be the ones to lug their kids around. Start walking, Even in this day and age, you can't even walk to school, man. People fucking steal your kids. I'm sorry, I shouldn't curse. I'm trying not to cuss anymore, man. It just sounds terrible. It sounds like you have a limited vocabulary when you cuss. I'm sorry, I'm trying not to cuss anymore. But you can't even walk to school anymore. You can't walk to school, man. People are getting picked up in vans, like rape vans, and they're being sold everywhere. Over in Hemet, dude. In Hemet, there's people like disappearing left and right, and nobody knows what's going on. And it's all like remote land. It's ridiculous. Man, I got mosquito bites, man. I don't know if you live in Whittier, Southern California, wherever you live. We got mosquitoes like crazy over here. I hate them. They're tiny little babies, man. They're everywhere. I went to my ex-wife's house and I was seeing the girls, and I was outside the whole time. I was itching like a fiend, man. I swear, I looked down at my legs. There's like 3 mosquitoes sucking my life. My daughter was even like, ew, Dad, you got mosquitoes on your legs. They like that brown meat, man. They like dark meat. I don't know what it is, but I hate mosquitoes. And I can't seem to figure out how to keep them out of my life. If somebody could help me figure out how to kill mosquitoes and keep them out forever, let me know. I don't have stale water around my house or anything like that. I thought that's what they lived on. Like, they'd always be around stale water. I don't know. Maybe they like the plants that are around my house. I don't know, man, but I don't like it. So, man, I got off subject again. I keep going off subject. I don't really care, though. This is my podcast. I can talk about anything I want. Back to skateboarding and BMXing. The reason I say it equals mental health is, for me, now that I got my girls riding bikes and skateboards and scooters and being outdoors like that, it allows me to reparent myself through them. So whatever I missed as a child from my parents, I get to give back to my children and fill my own voids that I had in childhood. That's something a lot of parents need to remember, need to do, is there's not lost hope for, oh man, my mom and dad didn't tell me they love me as much. Tell your kids even more how much you love them. For me, my parents were hardworking people, so there wasn't a lot of time for them to sit back and say, Rudy, we're so proud of you. I didn't get a lot of that, and for me, I tell my daughters every day how proud I am of them, just for being the beautiful souls that they are, and they are so dynamic, man, and I admire. I try to reinforce their differences and their likes, but mainly, their differences being my youngest daughter's. She's like, what I say about her is she's my laughter, she's my humor, she's my light side in the world. She can see things and just laugh, and she's got two beautiful dimples, and when she smiles, she'll make you smile. When she laughs, she'll make you laugh. And she sees the funny in life. She's never serious. She just likes to enjoy herself. She's a little girl right now. I'm sure things might change, but for now, she's my humor, and also my sensitivity. She's extremely sensitive. Extremely sensitive. One thing I've learned since I'm sober now. Oh, this is a fake beer, by the way. It was Old Milwaukee, America's non-alcoholic near beer. I don't know, but I'm sober now, so I get to see my daughter's assets, dude, of what she brings to the world, and I'm realizing that through her and through myself. I'm realizing that I am extremely sensitive. I'm like easily hurt. It's crazy, dude. I'm extremely sensitive. I don't know what it is, but it depends. Like, I can be sensitive to the people that mean the world to me. Whereas, like, if there's some dude on Instagram calling me names or something, it's not gonna hurt my feelings. I don't know that person. The person means nothing to me. But if it's like, my kids telling me I'm a terrible dad, man, I'm gonna fold up. I'm gonna feel real bad about myself. I'm real sensitive, and I don't care what people think of that. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. You have a problem with it, that's fine. Maybe it's your own insecurity. Maybe you're a sensitive dude, and you can't express it because you enslaved yourself to be a tough, tatted up gangster dude, that can't show any emotion. Man, I bet you're weak on the inside, though. Behind that facade, you know what I'm saying? Behind that pretend life you're trying to live, you might be just as sensitive as me. I don't know, but that's who my little one is. She's sensitive and she is funny, man. She's my humor. She's my bright side. My oldest, she is extremely conscientious. She's always thinking, much like her dad. She's my brain. She's my she makes me think of the consequences of my actions. My 9-year-old. I take so much from them. So much from them, dude. I take so much from their differences and their likenesses. And the way they're alike is they're both very caring. Very caring. I see the way they interact with other kids. It seems to always be, their friends above their own feelings, or their friend wants to do something. They're not that type of kid that's like, no, we got to do what I'm doing. They'll go with the flow. And when they take leadership, they do take leadership. They take leads, with other kids, and when they're in groups with kids. And then they can fall back and also just be that reserved person. And if they don't like it, they're not into it, they'll go do their own thing. They don't mind. They might be hurt a little bit, but I can talk them through it. I can help them. That's the job of a good father, is to be there. And one thing I've noticed, I'm in therapy now, and one thing me and my therapist always talk about is how high the percentages are of men, divorced men, that jump into a relationship within, 3 months of a divorce, 6 months of a divorce. They're already in a long-term relationship. It's crazy. That serial monogamy, man. Going from one long relationship to another long relationship with no real gap in the middle. All you're doing is taking the crap you messed up in the first relationship, you're taking it to the second one, but you're hiding it better. That's all you're doing. That's all you're doing, man. Serial monogamy is the downfall of a lot of men. Because then they get wrapped up, or they try to fill that void of the woman who left. They take that new woman and fill the void. They just throw her in there. And sometimes the woman fits perfectly, in the sense that it feels right, and you feel, that nuclear household of a man, woman, and children. But if you don't take the time to figure out what the heck you did in the past relationship, man, you're just going to continue the same crap. And some men just keep a cycle going. You hear these men. Some might be men in your life that are on their third, fourth marriage. 3, 4 marriages, man. Oh my gosh, that's 3, 4 rings you had to buy. Yeah, maybe $1,500 a piece. That's $3,000, $6,000 you spent on rings that you don't even have anymore. Man, that's terrible. What about weddings? What about divorces? Divorces are expensive. They're not cheap. And you go through 2, 3 of them, and you're working on your fourth. Man, at some point you gotta realize maybe it's not them. Maybe it's you, buddy. And if you're not taking that time out to figure out if it is me or not, you're just gonna keep the same pattern, dude. It's the honest truth, bro. You're gonna keep the same pattern, dude. And as a man, is that what you want to provide for your children? Is that what you want to show your children when things get hard with your partner? Just leave. Really, that's it. You're not gonna show them, what it's like to argue, to go through rough times. Yes, you can show your children that, but you must show them a way of coming back and persevering through those hard times. Because if you don't, your kids are gonna follow that path, dude. And you're yelling at your ex-wife or your ex-girlfriend, and you're screaming at them, calling them the B word and telling them they ain't nothing in front of your kids. Oh, man, you're doing like severe damage to your children. And even if you think they're not listening, man, they're always listening. They're always listening. Think about yourself. Think about the upbringing you had. My upbringing, I saw things maybe that my dad did that I didn't want to be like. I wasn't going to do that in my life. I wasn't going to react like he reacted. I did all the same things. My dad got divorced at like 27. I got divorced at 28. My dad went downhill after his divorce. I went downhill after my divorce. I knew these things. I knew what my dad had gone through. Did it stop me from ruining my marriage? Nope. I just did it and then started feeling guilty about it. And had I not taken the time like I did now, I didn't take that time after my divorce. I just jumped right into another serious relationship, and then that failed. You know what I'm saying? Because I just kept cycles of the same crap. This is aside from drinking and doing opioids and smoking weed all the time. Aside from that, like, I didn't know how to communicate with my wife or my girlfriend at the time. Like, I didn't know how to communicate. I'm still learning how to communicate my feelings, let alone communicate them through a substance or something when you're feeling good, high, or when you're coming home drunk. Like, man, whatever feelings you might be having, it's all fake. You know what I'm saying? You come home drunk and you dance with your fiance or your wife or your girlfriend. You might not even remember it the next day. What kind of BS is that, man? Did you really do it out of love? Probably not. I want to be able to come home dead sober and dance with my fiance or my wife or my girlfriend. I want to enjoy them. I want to, feel them and feel every piece of love that love has to offer. Because love does offer a lot. But keep in mind, love also offers a lot of pain, man. A ton of pain. And you gotta have the mental wherewithal to get through that, man. You do. And as men, it's freaking hard, man. I'll be the first to admit it's freaking hard. And then sometimes you think you love someone and it's not love, it's freaking comfort, man. All you are is comfort. You're comfortable right now. You're afraid of change. That's how it got for me at the end of my divorce. I can tell you, I did not love my ex-wife for years before we even got a divorce. And, but I wasn't going to be the one to leave. I was too comfortable. Despite being as miserable as I was, I thought that's how life was. My parents are married, my parents are still together. I didn't grow up in a divorced household. And
So I thought, man, regardless, I mean, my dad looks kind of miserable, so I guess I have to be miserable. It's not the truth, man. It's not the truth at all. If you're gonna get married to somebody that you truly enjoy being around. Build a friendship with that person. You know, um, build a strong foundation. Because if you don't have that, shit's all gonna plummet. If you guys are just sexually attracted to each other and you guys have fun in the bed, that's cool, man. That's great. That's necessary, yes, but that's not everything. If you can't hold a conversation with her or him, and you can't be on the same page on what you guys want in life, time to bounce, homie. That goes for women or men. As hard as it is, would you rather be comfortable or would you rather be loved? That's a big question a lot of people have to ask themselves. Would you rather be comfortable or would you rather be loved? You can be both. It's not impossible. You can be both. A lot of people in this world have both. But some people have one or the other. Some people love their other half, but do not like them. And that's a big issue, man. And if you're running from it, eventually it's going to catch up to you. It's faster than you, dog. You know, it doesn't have legs. It moves in here. Love is all in here. Love is what you feel, you know. Love is what you believe you need in life. And for me, I had to learn the hard way between the differences in love and comfort. It was a long battle. You know, I thought, oh man, I'm just comfortable. I don't love this woman. I hate this woman. I hate the way this woman has made me, has changed me. I should have saw the writing on the wall when I was one person with her and then a completely different person with my friends or outside of that house. Big, big red flag. I couldn't be the same Rudy with her and my friends. Dang, that's sad, man. That's real sad, and I could not see that. Actually, I shouldn't say I could not see that. I chose to ignore it. I knew that was there. Yeah, man, I knew that was there, but I didn't face it. Instead, I ran from it. Instead, I attempted to suppress it through opioids. Opies, man. Opies are the reason people get hooked to opiates, man, is because they work. They make you feel good, man. They'll take that. They'll take you to euphoria. You know, you're feeling pain in your head or your heart. You take an opioid, it'll clear you up for a couple hours, and you keep chasing the dragon, and you can feel good for a whole day if you keep taking them. Eventually, you're gonna get addicted. Eventually, you're gonna start chasing. Eventually, you're gonna start asking for them. Eventually, you're gonna just start trying to forge prescriptions like I did. You know, I tried to write a prescription. One time, I got a prescription for just like ibuprofen or something, and I tried to add hydroxy, whatever the um, hydrocortisone, and or hydrocortisone, I don't know what it is, but something with the real, I was addicted to it, man. It was a narcotic, tramadol, Narcos. I love Narcos, man. They'll make you constipated though. You'd have to take like a whatever those things are called, man. I don't even want to talk about those. Narcos are the devil, man. I loved them, but they were the devil. And coming down off Narcos, oh, you get flat out sick. You get the sniffles. You start detoxing. And for me, like, maybe I wasn't taking them enough, so I didn't detox in the sense that, like, I was laying in bed with the sweats and throwing up and couldn't sleep and all that. But I did have that prescription reliance, dude, where it took me a couple days to get off of Narcos. Especially as many as I was taking. I was taking 2 at a time. I take 2 in the morning, afternoon, late afternoon, and then evening. So about 8 pills a day. And in like a 14-hour period, maybe. I was in school, I had a newborn, and I was recently, engaged or married at those times, and I just zoned out through life for a few years, dude. My ex-wife didn't even know. She knew I was taking these pills, but I just made up things like I had back pain or something. I got a bad back. Yes, I still struggle with it, but I didn't do anything to help myself. All I did was take pain meds. And then once I found a doctor that was ready to, I didn't really care, and he got me off Norcos and put me on Tramadol. And at that time, Tramadol was not a narcotic, so he was able to prescribe those out to me like hotcakes, man. I was running through a bottle every 2 weeks, man. I'd ask for prescription refills all the time, and he'd give them to me. Left and right, man. Left and right. This Asian doctor. He was at Ultimed. I had some crappy insurance at the time. I used to go to Ultimed. And, yeah, man, he used to prescribe me Tramadol, I think like 30 capsules every 2 weeks. And I'd polish those things off in a week, man. I'd make up stories like, oh, man, I got the prescription, but I dropped it in the gutter. Can I have another one? Sure. I'd have to wait like a month. You have to wait like if you get 30 pills and you're only taking 2 a day, you gotta wait till the 15th or 16th day. Nah, he would just write me another refill. I'd have like 10 refills, and I'd just run through them, dude. Run through them. I was taking 3 or 4 of those at a time. I was taking like maybe 10 pills a day. And then it got so bad that he had to stop because I think it was looking really bad for him. But he had to stop writing me those prescriptions. And I remember even like trying to get them from my mom, trying to get them from my uncle, trying to get them from anyone who had them. A friend one time came out of the hospital and he got like a big bottle of Narcos, and as soon as I heard about it, like I asked him for it, and he was fine, and he gave them to me, man. And I took those 60, it was like 60 capsules. I took a grip of them, dude. And I used to drink with them. And when you drink with Narcos or Tramadol, like you only need like 2 or 3 beers and you are in the clouds. Sometimes though with those narcotics is I would drink and then I would never catch a buzz. I'd drink like a 12-pack and still not catch a buzz. It was crazy weird. And then sometimes I take them and I drink 2 beers and I'm in the clouds. I'm there. I'll talk to you, but I'm kind of not there. You know what I mean? Like the lights are on, but I ain't listening to what you're saying. I might be thinking about, that bear just going ching, ching, ching. That's what's going on in my head when you're telling me about how hard your life is right now. I'm thinking of that bear just, man, get me out of here. I'm high as a kite. And nobody knew. Nobody knew. Oh, and then the muscle relaxers. You take muscle relaxers. Man, I used to get those prescribed to me left and right. I had a bad bike accident and it messed up my back, and that was like my golden ticket, man. They gave me muscle relaxers up the yin yang, bro. And you mix that up with Narcos, and then you mix up with alcohol. Oh man, one time I went to Vegas for my bachelor party, and I had taken a bunch of pain pills and muscle relaxers with me. My friends didn't even know, and I must have taken like 10 of them before we went out partying, and I was high as a kite. I was holding conversations. I can't remember anything, but I was high as a kite. And the fact that my friends didn't know just shows how devious I was, man, how good I was at it. And I don't mean that to boast. I mean that to exploit my weaknesses. I mean that to show somebody that might be struggling with some type of addiction right now, to know that you might be good at hiding it, but what are you doing to yourself, man? What are you doing to yourself? If you're not being honest with people and you're taking pills or smoking whatever it is behind people's back, you still know about it. You still gotta go to bed with that. So yeah, you might get away with it. It might feel good that you're getting away with it too. But you're not getting away with it in your own head, dog. You still gotta face those demons. There's a reason you're running to those things. Stop running and just face it. It's gonna suck. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna tear your life apart. Possibly. But you keep chasing that dragon, eventually you're never gonna find that dragon. You're gonna end up real messed up, man. Real messed up. So I ask you, if you're struggling with something right now, when you're sober, whenever you're coming down from whatever you're taking, because you will come down, you'll never stay high. Use that time and reflect on what you're actually running from. And if it's so painful that you need to run to that substance, hit me up, man. I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you while you're high. You could smoke weed, do crack, do cocaine in front of me. I've seen it all. I remember the smell of crack. I remember when a family member of mine used to smoke crack. And I remember smelling it for the first time. It was that bitter, nasty, it smells like blood. Like, you ever taste blood and you taste that iron? For me, that's what crack smelled like. I remember a family member used to come home so high on meth, they wouldn't even look at you, talking to you like this. Come on, bro, I'm just trying to get a couple dollars so I can go over there, dude. I just need to get a ride over there. Meth man, come on, dude. I'm just... No, I'm not. Why would I be using right now? I'm never making eye contact with you. I've seen it all, man. And if you're chasing the white dragon, doing those bumps, trying to get by, and you're saying, I only do it on the weekends, I only do it when I drink, just be careful. Just be real careful with that crap, man, because I've heard and seen a lot of friends just go from, oh yeah, I only do it when I party, to, well, I only do it, when I go to work. Well, I lost my job, dude, so things are tough right now, so I'm doing it to get me by. And it just keeps getting worse, dog. And then it ends. It doesn't end the right way for some people. It ends in prison, or it ends in going through rehab. Rehab's tough. It's not easy. You can do it though, and if you need help, I can help you. I don't. We can research this stuff together. I don't have all the answers, but I promise you I'll try to help you as best as I possibly can. And you don't feel comfortable reaching out to me, that's fine. Look up resources in your area. Find somebody that's a non-affiliate to your family or friends, and go that route, man. Seek out a professional. And sometimes professionals, you gotta test them out. I went to therapy, and I remember walking out on a few therapists like, man, you don't know anything about me. I feel like smashing my head through your head right now. And until I finally found my therapist that works for me, and I love her. Like, she's a core part of my life right now. I want to say, I'm not going to live on therapy, but right now it helps me. And I want to say, I'm not going to be on antidepressants and bipolar medication and anti-anxiety medication right now, but it helps me. So this is where I'm at. Until I build up the strength to no longer need those pills, I had to keep going. I had to keep my effort going, because one thing about antidepressants is you become reliant on them, and you can't just stop. If you stop, you get extremely sick. Like, I missed one day of my pills, and I'll get sick, like straight up the flu, dude. I feel like my head hurts. I got a fever. I got a sore throat. I'm coughing. I don't feel good. If I just miss one day of my medication. It's been a long time since I've missed one day. I'm very on top of it. But even I mess up on my taking the pills at specific times, and even that affects me. So it's not always easy, man. Nothing in this world is easy. The only thing easy is getting high. It's easy to do that crap, run away, think that it's helping you.
But if you got good control over it, more power to you, brother. I got friends that smoke weed and are extremely functional. Extremely functional. They're sharp, they're witty, they're on it, they got businesses, they got things going very well for themselves. For me, it clouds me, it makes me lazy, it makes me procrastinate more than I want to. And why would I want something like that in my life? So I decided to clean up my act and stop doing those things that held me back. But I struggle. I struggle every day. This helps me, man. These non-alcoholic beers, they taste just like beer. And I like a good beer, man. And I used to like a real taste of beer, and like, this is cool with me. It doesn't get me drunk. Tastes like beer, makes me all fat and bloated just like a beer does. I have one of these and that's it. It's cool. I like it. You might not. I don't care. But I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. I have a guest coming in on Thursday. I'm not sure if we're going to shoot a pod, but we're definitely going to meet and speak about our future episodes for my podcast. And then I have a guest on Tuesday who I'm extremely excited to speak with. He is a suicide survivor. I won't release his name yet because I want to confirm our time on Tuesday. We're about 90% there, but he's a suicide survivor. And I just want to open his mind up. I want to talk to him about everything. I got another friend that's she's about to be a doctor, and I want to bring her on. I want to pick her brain, and her husband is actually a licensed therapist, and he's a veteran. So, opening up that conversation, I know nothing about what a veteran deals with when they come home, and the mental strain that comes with whatever they dealt with while they were deployed or what am I trying to say? While they're in the military, I guess, for lack of better words. And I don't know the mental toll it brings when you come back to the States or when you come back to a society that's kind of upside down right now, where you see cops beating the shit out of people and people dying in the streets. As a serviceman, how do you look at that when you came from a third world country and saw the same thing, but you're starting to see it in your own homeland? There's got to be a mental toll. There's got to be issues that arise from that. So the next few guests I'm going to have on are extremely intelligent, beautiful, beautiful souls, and I'm looking forward to it. So make sure you guys tune into the next episode. I hope y'all